It's a paper trail for the week ending in May 2nd, 2026, and we'll cover what happened last week in the information security space. The bottom line: AI is fundamentally changing the speed of cyber attacks. The window between a vulnerability being discovered and it being weaponized is now measured in hours, not days. Simultaneously, the security teams are underpaid, understaffed, and leaving. These two forces together represent a material shift in organizational risk that requires attention, not just a patch cycle. Last week, in review, Fortinet released its 2026 Global Threat Landscape Report, drawing on telemetry from millions of sensors deployed worldwide. The headline numbers are stark. Ransomware victims surged 389% year-over-year. More significant for every organization than that count, however, is what's happening to timing. As AI accelerates reconnaissance, weaponization, and execution, FortiGuard intelligence shows time to exploit has dropped to 24 to 48 hours for critical outbreaks, a sharp increase from earlier reports that showed a time to exploit of 4.76 days. Google announced a significant restructuring of its vulnerability reward programs for Chrome and Android as AI starts to get introduced in the vulnerability research pipeline. Google is now prioritizing flaw categories that are more difficult for AI tools to find, while reducing some lower-tier Chrome awards. For organizations running their own bug bounty programs, the future may hold a higher number of AI-generated low-quality submissions, which will swamp triage capacity unless programs are redesigned around it. A Harvey Nash Global Tech Talent and Salary Report, based on a survey of over 3,600 technology professionals across 53 countries, found that cybersecurity staff are among the most financially overlooked workers in tech. Globally, 71% of security professionals received no salary increase in 2025. Only 40% of security staff expect a pay rise in 2026. Almost half, 49%, are actively looking to move jobs in the next 12 months, well above the global average of 39% across all tech roles. Pulse. LayerX disclosed a high-severity vulnerability, CVSS 8.2, in Cursor, one of the most widely used AI-powered code editors for developers, that allows installed extensions to access sensitive credentials, exposing API keys and session tokens without any user interaction. The issue stems from how Cursor stores secrets locally in plaintext in a local SQLite database, leaving them accessible to any extension regardless of permissions. Cursor enforces no OS-level protected storage or access control boundary between installed extensions and this database. Cursor was notified in February, responded that extensions are within the user's trust boundary, and as of April 28th, had not issued a fix. Vimeo published a security notice confirming that an unauthorized actor accessed customer and user data, not by breaking into Vimeo itself, but by compromising Anodot, a third-party analytics platform Vimeo uses. Exposed data primarily includes technical data, video titles, metadata, and in some cases customer email addresses. Video content, login credentials, and payment data were not accessed. This is the third-party risk story in its purest form that highlights that a vendor's security posture is part of an organization's attack surface. Fix it, Frank. ACRLF injection in C panel's pre-authentication session handling allows an unauthenticated remote adversary to inject arbitrary values directly into a session file written to disk before any credential check occurs. This allows adversaries to receive a fully authenticated root WHM session, bypassing both the password gate and two-factor authentication with no requirement for valid credentials. The flaw affects all supported versions of cPanel and WHM after v11.40 and WP squared prior to v136.1.7, spanning an estimated 650,000 plus Internet-exposed instances. Confirm with the hosting provider or sysadmin that cPanel is patched to a fixed version, then audit WHM session logs and server-side accounts for unauthorized root-level changes going back to February 23, 2026. The Jenkins project, one of the most widely deployed CI/CD platforms, published a security advisory addressing 7 plugin vulnerabilities across multiple widely deployed Jenkins plugins, including high-severity path traversal flaws and stored cross-site scripting (XSS) vulnerabilities. Organizations should review and update all flagged plugins immediately via the Jenkins Plugin Manager. Additionally, Jenkins UI access should be limited to internal networks, or VPN, and the Jenkins controller should not be directly accessible from the Internet under any circumstances. Paper Trail is a weekly briefing, not professional advice. Consult qualified professionals before acting on anything we report. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Paper Trail. You can read it, hear it, or bookmark it. Find every format at hackwithheart.com.